Hello good people of YouTube, my name is Jackson. Welcome to my channel. So in today's video, it's just another devlog. I think this is devlog 40. Yeah, devlog 40 or 41. It could be somewhere around there. But basically these devlogs are just me learning. So it's not me creating one game in particular. It's me, the devlogs is me learning how to make the games in the first place. Just learning anything basically, because I have zero knowledge of game development and I'm just trying to learn. So I sort of understand how to make little one player platform games with not much going on, and I've pretty much made a full game a couple times really, I suppose. But the one thing that I'm having massive problems with is first person shooters. Really struggling to try and make a first person shooter and to understand how to do like aim down sights and shoot at center of the screen and all that stuff, but and all the animations that come with it and all sorts of stuff. It gets very complicated when it comes to first person shooter in contrast to like a third person shooter or a platform game. So first person is very complicated. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I've made now, and I think I might have something with this game. This might be interesting, but I do want to make it a multiplayer, and I do want to make it like a third person multiplayer game. So it's like a third person shooter, but it's kind of a bit faster. But I don't know anything about multiplayer neither. So big shout out to this channel actually, Game Dev Raw. Very technical sort of channel that tells you about like servers and client sides and stuff like that. And yeah, very interesting. But like I said, I don't know anything about multiplayer yet. So that's one thing I want to get into. What I'm trying to explain is that the way I've learned game development so far, I've kind of skipped a few steps, so I've got a few bad practices and stuff. So I'm really apprehensive about learning multiplayer because I want to learn everything from the start, but it's just it's a very daunting task. But this channel, Game Dev Raw, it does seem to explain stuff quite simple, I suppose, when it comes to multiplayer and replication and server side and stuff. But like I say, they're just words I'm spewing out. I don't really know anything about them. I mean, I got some understanding that the server takes the information that the player inputs and passes that onto the clients and stuff like that. So I've got some understanding, but it makes your blueprints and that a lot more complicated. But let me just show you what I've got so far, because I think I might have something with this. So this is going to be like a little third person shooter, which is going to be a little bit a speedy, runny type shooter as well. So shout out to Gorka Games as well, because I learned how to do this grapple hook type thing. I did learn to do that before, but this time I think I've got it right. So you just kind of like this little robot. That little red dot, don't worry about that. That's a line trace from the gun. But this is what I wanted to show you. Look at this grapple. There's no sound effects in this or anything. Ah, shite. Didn't mean to fall down there. Another thing that I've added, let me start it again. Right, yeah, so the line traces from the gun. That red is the shots. So if I shoot that that thing there, see, it dies. So I've learned to put damage on the line trace and that. But yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. So you've got this sort of grapple hook that you can sort of spin around the map. What I'm thinking is when you get used to this movement, it might be a pretty cool movement to do in a shooter. But another thing is that on a multiplayer, I think when it comes to like the server taking the information and where a player's going to be and stuff like that, I think it might struggle with this kind of grapple hook system. I don't think it's going to be the best and most efficient thing to have. See, I've done that as well. That's what I wanted to show you. So if you actually hit something by accident on your grapple, like just by the bottom of your feet, not totally. So if you just clip something as you're spinning around, you're gonna trip. Watch. Oops. See, but you can just grapple around. And I might make it as well that you're kind of chasing players, so it's not necessarily sort of like a shooter as in like one team versus the other. It might be sort of like a Mario Karty type thing where you sort of chasing the players and your momentum is built up by your sort of grapple. See, I'm gonna fall now. But so yeah, so what I was gonna say, yeah, so that bit that you trip if you hit something. What I was gonna say. Oh yeah, another thing I was gonna say is if there's any games that you see me talking about in these devlogs and you're wondering where's that game gone, like what are you doing with that, just ask in the comments and I'll either make a video or I'll explain what's happening, because there's a couple of games that are not forgotten about. The last one that seemed to get like a lot of views was there was like a sort of third person type one like this, and the guy had a bulletproof vest on with a big round head, and people seem to be attracted to the thumbnail of that. So I'm thinking maybe that people just like the way that looked. I don't know, I could be wrong, but I could have just got lucky with the channel. But maybe people like the way that looked. So yeah, just comment, because that hasn't, I've not really done much more work with that. With this as well, I haven't made an aim offset so you can aim up and down. If you shoot your grapple, try and shoot your grapple into the sky, it won't do nothing. Yeah, so basically I'm thinking I might work. I'm trying. What I really want to do is make a first person shooter. So not a third person like this, a first person shooter. But I'm really struggling with it. Really struggling with it. Like the last week, I've spent the last week trying to work on animations to get the first person hands and the trigger, you know, shooting the gun and getting the gun lined up to the sights, and very complicated. So what I might just do, because I am going to start learning multiplayer now, I am kind of learning multiplayer, although none of this is replicated. So that's what I mean. I don't even know how to test stuff as multiplayer. So I've seen, like on that channel that I just mentioned, that Game Dev Raw, when he does this sort of play screen editor thing, he's got two screens, and one's the server and one's the client. So I don't even know how to do that. And I know that I have to set the blueprints up to be server blueprints, like. So yeah, there's a lot of work. I kind of just in this devlog, I kind of just wanted to vent a little bit, and yeah, so just kind of wanted to vent a little bit, explain my absence, I suppose. And yeah, I've been working on my Blender a lot as well. I've been really working on Blender models and stuff. I haven't stopped working since the last video. It's just that on any of the projects that you've seen in some of the devlogs, the work hasn't gone into any of them projects. I've been working non-stop on Blender and trying to work on animations and work on new models and work on trying to get a first person right. I've been doing all this stuff, but it's not gone into any of my previous projects. It's just all gone into new projects. So this is the new project that I'm working on. And because I like this grapple mechanic, and I kind of like the robot as well, and I like the way he's got a gun, I might make this the game that I'm going to work on for multiplayer. And then once I understand how to make multiplayer, once I learn how to make multiplayer, then I can start working towards making a first person game. But I think this game will be good. The movement is pretty cool. Like, I like movement games. I do. I like Call of Duty, Apex, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. I like games where you have to sort of be quick on the triggers, sort of thing. And this kind of is that. It has got a flow to it. Except, like I say, I don't think a server will handle this grapple mechanic very well. I don't know. I could be wrong. It might be easy to handle, but I don't think so, because the way a server works, it has to sort of predict where the player is going to be. I mean, I suppose there is some elements to this that a server will know. So, for example, when you do the grapple, it can't be like 100, 200 meters away. It can only do a certain distance. So it might not be that difficult, but yeah, it might be very difficult. I'm not sure. But yes, I don't know if I've explained anything at all in this devlog. I'm sorry if anyone's following these and they're kind of getting a bit misguided. I am trying to have a definite plan. And I suppose I am sticking to my plan. I'm developing games. I'm working towards developing a first-person shooter, and in the process, I'm developing about three games. I've got 2 games that I definitely are going to finish, which is the Gangster D and the Save Cat game. And now I'm trying to work on a multiplayer game, and eventually working towards a first-person shooter multiplayer game. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm sorry if these aren't making any sense. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.